Welcome again into the television version of Strategies for Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. I'm delighted that you've tuned in and joined with me today on Strategies for Living. Well, we're all about helping us live healthier, happier, more peaceful lives in our bodies, minds, spirits, and relationships. Rex Allison, and you're going to cover all of those today, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Welcome, Rex Allison. I'm delighted that you're here. You're a producer and director. Your most recent project is Until Death, the Barrow Gang. Now, there was a question that came up. What more do we need to know about Bonnie and Clyde than we already know? And you said there was a bunch, right?
Well, the problem with Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker, the second you get in saying you made a film about them, people automatically assume that you idolize them.
Yeah.
They are iconic. This is not a film about redeeming Clyde Barrow. You don't hear in there that he was abused as a child or anything like that.
But I learned a lot of information that I didn't know. My point, Rex, is that I think a lot of us around these parts, lots of us have been to Arcadia.
To lead a bureau that covers all of it.
Comey succeeds Robert Mueller, who stepped down after 12 years on the job. A trial resumes today in Detroit to determine if the city is eligible for the largest municipal bankruptcy in the nation's history. WDET's Quinn Kleinfelter reports the officials most responsible for Detroit seeking Chapter 9 protection will take the stand.
Michigan Governor Rick Snyder.
Can we roll the trailer and then we can talk?
Let's do it. Can we do that? Can we roll the trailer and intro the movie?
Clyde Barrow murdered J.N. Boucher, a defenseless man, shot him in the back, and then continued to pour hot lead into his body as it lay on the floor.
He didn't do the Bucher killing at Hillsborough, which he got credit for.
And after this first taste of blood, 12 men went down to their death from Clyde Barrow's guns.
Clyde Barrow never seemed to care for killing anyone. All he thought of was himself.
I'm L.J. Boots Hinton. I'm the son of Ted Hinton, who was the youngest of the 6 officers that were involved in the capture of Clyde and Bonnie.
As far as is recorded, Bonnie Parker was the worst woman bandit since the days of Belle Starr.
Bonnie never shot anybody.
I regret that we couldn't have taken them alive, but that was impossible. I further regret that there was a woman that had to be killed, which couldn't have been helped.
Love will make you do funny things. And she was hopelessly in love.
Well, obviously there is a lot more then that there is to learn and to say about Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay. What we have coming up in December on cable is another miniseries about Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker. And in that movie, you're going to see, it's in December, they portray Bonnie as being a murderess. There has never been any information, any credible evidence that she ever pulled the trigger on anyone.
There was a spin cycle.
But it started, see, what you just saw, I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is important. What you just saw on that trailer was a movie clip that was made 2 days after the ambush. They're already dead for 48 hours.
Right.
And they say that, that Clyde Barrow shot and killed a guy laying on the floor of a store. He wasn't even there. Now, when I say that, people are going to say, well, wait a minute. You're trying to vindicate. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But it was a crime that was hung on him for a couple of different reasons. You'll find that out when you get the film. He murdered people, but he did not murder that guy like you just saw in the trailer.
Many of us have seen the photographs through the years of Bonnie with the cigar hanging out her mouth. I never knew that was a Photoshop. They didn't have Photoshop back then, but it was a dressed up picture, right?
It was just one picture that showed her with a cigar that was taken in changed in Joplin, Missouri, after the April 1933 shootout that they had, and they discovered some film in a camera, and they developed it. And one of them, she happened to have a rose in her mouth, and as a joke, some Joplin newspaper reporter penciled in a cigar. And it was the beginning of how to demonize Bonnie Parker.
Wasn't there another shot of her holding a gun to Clyde that a lot of us have seen, and that's also, in effect, photoshopped?
No, that was real.
That was real, okay.
This is the problem with Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker. It's such a complicated story. Bonnie followed along after Clyde, and he gave her a cigar, and she held it as a prop, because that's the way she was portrayed in the newspapers, as a cigar-smoking gun mole.
Right.
So she played the part. But it didn't start until that Joplin newspaper guy penned in or doctored the photo with the original cigar. She just followed along after that, that's all.
Rex, what got you? You're obviously very passionate about this. This is a project very close to your heart.
It is.
What got you that way? Again, I introduced this. What is there to say about Bonnie and Clyde that hasn't already been said 1,000 times? You obviously know that there's a lot more that needs to be said. What hooked you? What got you into this?
Man, that's a loaded question.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, to ask these loaded questions.
Well, I'm telling you, the media, even back in just like you say in a film, since there's been media spin. Mm-hmm. This is 80 years after the ambush, and they're still portraying these people as being something that they were not. And that's just a fact. So my question is, how far does media spin go? When we see news today, how much of it is real and how much is contrived?
We all need to ask ourselves those questions, don't we?
Exactly. And so the way to study the media today is to see what the media did 80 years ago.
Is to study the media of yesterday. Now, the star, if there is a real star in this movie besides Bonnie and Clyde, the star of this movie is L.J. Boots Hinton. And he is actually the son of Ted Hinton, who was appointed by the Dallas County Sheriff. He was a Dallas County Sheriff's deputy. Mm-hmm. And the Dallas County Sheriff appointed him especially to get Bonnie and Clyde.
Right, along with his supervisor, Chief Criminal Deputy Bob Alcorn.
Right.
Who, I just pass this on to you. Bob Alcorn died exactly to the day, 30 years after that ambush.
Wow.
Died in 1964, May 23rd.
Wow.
But anyway.
Now, Boots, Mr. Hinton is still in the Arcadia area, running the Bonnie. If you go to Arcadia, many of our viewers have been there. They've seen the site. They've gone to the museum.
Right.
And Mr. Hinton is the curator,
He's in
proprietor of that museum.
Right. It's in Gibbsland, Louisiana, 9 miles from Arcadia. Mm-hmm. The museum itself is in the cafe, Ma Canfield's Cafe, mm-hmm. which is the last place they got a sandwich to eat.
Really?
On the morning before they were shot.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. The ambush itself, they almost had to get these guys because these guys were making them look, the Barrow gang, Clyde and his gang, were making law enforcement look foolish.
I would say.
Fair to say?
I would say so.
Okay.
You know, that year was a bad year for crooks. Pretty Boy Floyd was basically executed. John Dillinger, same thing, bullet to the back of the head. Mm-hmm. And these guys here, but see, I don't look at it that way. Those guys, those 6 officers were doing their job. That was their job. Mm-hmm. And
they sacrificed a lot to do their job to set up. They sat in those in that wooded or grassy area.
2.5
wooded
days.
Grassy area, 2.5 days.
Mm-hmm. They ran
surviving
out of food.
on sandwiches and.
Mm-hmm. They ran out of food, ran out of water. At 9 o'clock on May 23rd, 1934. They said, we're going to stick around for another half an hour. And Bonnie and Clyde came along the road at 9:15. And so if they had decided to leave, who knows when they'd have gone.
Who knows? Why are we all so drawn into the legend, into the story of Bonnie and Clyde? What pulls us in, Rex?
Can you take this tight, please, on 3? If you look at Clyde Barrow, I'm not getting any glare, I hope. Look at how she's sitting on his lap, or leg. Do you see, well, I mean, what do you see in that photo? That's key. What I see is two people that are, I hate to say it, but they love each other. And I think one of the main things that draws people to that story is, why would she follow him to the grave willingly? I mean, how can you love somebody like that? She was shot over 50 times.
Her mama told her it would happen, didn't she?
Yes, yes. And she said, I know, but life without Clyde would be meaningless. That's exactly what she said. That's not contrived. That's a fact. So what did he have that she was so drawn to?
The other thing I found out, and I didn't know, I always thought Bonnie and Clyde were engaged or married even.
No.
But Bonnie was actually married to somebody else.
That's right. She was married to Roy. Hey, do you have that graphic with Bonnie and Roy? Can you pop that up if you got it?
Yep, there it is. Now that's Bonnie's real husband.
Yes.
But Roy was locked up. He was in the pen.
He was in East Ham prison. She married him when she was a little bit shy of 16. It wasn't long after that he got involved in some crime over in Kaufman, and he would leave her. At one time he was gone for a year, but he would stay gone for months at a time. Well, he wound up being sentenced to East Ham prison for life. So he was in jail when she was shot, and he was killed trying to break out of jail 3 years after that.
All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, Rex, I want to explore some other things that maybe we thought we knew about Bonnie and Clyde, but didn't know. I want to know what surprises, if any, as you began to research, you came up with. We'll do all of that and more. We are talking to Rex Allison, the director and producer of Until Death, the Barrow Gang, all about Bonnie and Clyde. We'll also tell you how to get it when we come back. Strategies for Living.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Storms come up fast. Storm protect your family now. We want you to know a safe room or storm shelter can provide the highest protection for your family during tornadoes and other severe windstorms. To learn more about how you can protect your family and property from storms, visit getagameplan.org and click on Mitigation Plan. Louisiana, we can do this. This mitigation message brought to you by the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
What if you could unleash your child's creativity while preparing them for a successful future? What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun and taught critical thinking, teamwork, and communication? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has been teaching kids teamwork, creativity, and problem solving for more than 25 years. Our students report increased ability to excel at school. Teachers report better attention and participation in our students. A major university study has documented how our students are ahead of others in creativity and innovation, skills that employers want and our future needs. To learn more about Destination Imagination, go to www.startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
Welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. You're watching Strategies for Living today, but don't forget you can listen to Strategies for Living. That's where we started, on the radio, on News Radio 710 Keel. Been there over 20 years now. You can hear us on Sunday mornings, 9:05 to 10, News Radio 710 Keel. On Saturdays, don't forget, you can read the column in the Shreveport Times each and every Saturday in the Life section. And of course, right here, Bossier Parish Community College, and produces the television version, Rex Allison, of Strategies for Living. You've hung around TV a little bit. What, 10 plus years, audio technician, production, director, Channel 3, that's where you and I first met.
Yes.
And I think I was there doing the morning show one morning for those guys, and you just slapped me around a little bit, and we've, been friends ever since.
Can I say something about you real quick? Is that all right?
You're going to do it anyway. You're an old TV guy. What can I say?
This is important.
Okay.
A woman very close to me died last year. And at the end of Mr. McMillan's doctor show on the radio, he says, if you only have one more phone call to make, who would you call? What would you say? Why
are you waiting?
Why wait? Make the call. I call her not every day, but every other 2 or 3 days. So when she passed, I didn't have any more to say.
Good for you.
And I got that advice from you.
Good for you.
And,
Thank you. Thank you for.
You really are smart.
I don't know about that.
You are.
But thank you.
You're a good man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was happy to participate in Until Death when you told me what you were doing. And by the way, let's tell folks that they can get a copy of this. The website is UntilDeathTheBarrowGang.com.
One word.
Until Death, the Barrow Gang. Run that all together. .com. Easy to get it. It's $20. So it's not going to break the bank, plus a little bit of shipping and handling, and it can be delivered directly to your door. Later on, hopefully, it'll be on Amazon and all of the others. But right now, UntilDeathTheBarrowGang.com. And you can see Boots. You can see the trailer on that website.
He's all through the film, and so are you. I narrate it, and you guys really do make the film. And then I have a guy, excuse me, Earl Dodd Jr., reads the part, full of excerpts from the book Ambush, and he reads that part. His younger brother, is the first child that went to St. Jude's.
Interesting. I mean, we can truly say that this documentary is based on a classic book, because that book, Ambush, if you put it into Amazon.com right now, it is available. The cheapest you can get it from one of the used booksellers on Amazon is $41. It blows a $50 bill, if you will. But it's available you can get a pristine copy of it for $225.
Yeah.
And so that book was written by L.J. Boots Hinton's father, Ted Hinton, the Dallas County Sheriff's deputy. Now, you wanted to come back to why we're all drawn in to and enthralled by Bonnie and Clyde and this story.
I firmly believe, had Clyde Barrow met Bonnie Parker when they moved to town in 1924, when the Barrow family moved to town, she would have steered him more to be a law-abiding man.
She was not a bad person.
No. She was graduated with honors from her high school. She went to Cement City high school. No, man, she had a very kind heart. She would break her pencils at school in half to give to the other kids. It was a depression. Who couldn't afford pencils. She bought food from Marco's Cafe in Dallas, where she worked as a waitress, and used her own money to the point where they almost fired her because she was spending her paycheck on people that were hungry.
Well, wasn't that part of the legend, Rex? Didn't Bonnie and Clyde help? I mean, they were almost a Robin Hood type
That's a myth.
deal. That is a myth.
No. The best thing they gave back was, we're gonna take $100 and take your gasoline. Don't call anybody. We'll come back and pay you when we get around to it. No, it was not a. No, that's another thing. Clyde was a criminal, and she, at the very least, was guilty of aiding and abetting, and guilty of criminal conspiracy to commit murder. But she never killed anyone. But that doesn't vindicate her. That's not the point. The point is they, in the media, from long before they were shot, they got together in 1930. He was paroled in 1932 from East End Prison. From there on out, the rest is history. But they have been spinning.
He tried, though. He tried
a
while.
He did. There are some.
And the documentary deals with this. He got out of the his first prison sentence.
Okay, we had a mugshot of the Dallas mugshot, please.
And he tried. He tried to kind of, quote unquote, go straight. He worked for Western Union, right? Am I remembering that right?
Right. What are we looking at here?
All right, we're looking at a mugshot.
Oh, I see.
There.
Okay, I got you. I'm an idiot. Okay, that's the 1926 Dallas mugshot of Clyde Barrow. Look at him, look at his face, look at his eyes. Do you see murder? I mean, ask yourself the question. Okay, you can pull it down. Thanks. He went to jail for car theft.
Yep. He could start anything with a motor, right? And he could have it started within seconds.
Oh, yeah.
He could hotwire anything.
Oh, sure. He had 7 counts, 2 years a count. Added up to 14 years. He was sentenced to East End Prison in 1930. He was paroled in 1932, February 32, and she kept in touch with him, writing letters to him the whole 2 years that he was in prison, because he told the Texas prison system that she was his wife. That way, she could mail him letters, but that was not the case. Let's see, where's it gonna go? Oh, could you show, please, the Middletown mugshot? From
Middletown is Middletown, Ohio.
Okay.
Who are we looking at here?
That's Clyde. That's December of 1930. No, December 1929. I'm sorry, it's 1930. Bonnie had helped him escape from the Kaufman County Jail. And he was gone for 3 weeks. When they got him in Ohio, it was the middle of December, it was wet. Excuse me. You can see his hair's all slicked down from mud and all that. Now, what do you see in that pic? I see anger. That's an angry kid right there. Okay?
Why was he so angry between those two shots?
Something happened to him. I think at some point, excuse me, he went home. He did try to he worked for Procter & Gamble. He was a glazer, worked with glass. He was good at it, installed stained glass windows in churches in and around Dallas. But every time something would go wrong in West Dallas, they would come to his job and roust him off the job. It was just the way it was back then. And so he lost 3 or 4 jobs, one of them with Procter & Gamble.
One putting in stained glass windows in churches.
Yes,
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He just went home and told his mom, her name is Kimmy.
Enough.
That's it. He said, if they're going to accuse me, I might as well go out and do it. And I think that sealed the fate of the death of a lot of people. This guy here was pretty bad.
We got a couple of minutes left. Could a Bonnie and Clyde happen today?
No.
Could it happen again?
No.
Why are you so sure about that?
This lasted 27 months. You wouldn't make it 27 minutes.
Because of the connectedness of not only law enforcement, but all of us.
How many minutes do we have?
We got a couple of minutes left.
Okay. If you like law enforcement, and I'm a full supporter of law enforcement, I don't need to tell you that. But
so
I
is
am.
L.J. Boots Hinton.
Yeah, and he's a cop. He's obviously retired. He's 80 years old. But if you want to know the truth and be able to look at this film coming up on cable in a couple of months, and you will see for yourself the difference between what you see in the media on the big screen and what you see in the news and what the facts are. So don't sit there and use your own God-given talent of discernment. That's the whole key. And you can teach, I know we're almost done, but you can take this film and play it for your children. We're in a bad economy. There was a Family Dollar rob here just a few nights ago. Don't let your kids go that route. And
a lot of history here.
Yes, there is, and you can use this as a teaching tool for your children.
It's well done. You're going to see a lot of old photographs, some old footage. Y'all have done a great job. You did a good job asking the questions that you asked me, because none of mine was scripted, and I don't think any of Boots was scripted.
No.
But you asked great questions that got that footage for you. I appreciate that.
I did not let you down as a consumer. I look you right square in the eye. I did not let you down. This is a good film.
I agree, 100%. That's why you're here. Folks, I want you to go to UntilDeathTheBarrowGang.com. UntilDeathTheBarrowGang.com. It's not going to break the bank. $20 plus shipping and handling, about $4 for that, and you get a copy of a very good movie. What is there to say? What more is there to say about Bonnie and Clyde? Well, it turns out a lot. And you can find out some of it on Until Death, The Barrow Gang. Rex Allison, thank you so much for
thank you.
producing this movie. Thank you for coming and talking about it today. I know I had to twist your arm a little bit. We wanted Boots to be here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
say a prayer for him.
Boots, let's send out prayers and positive energy for Boots, because he's a little sick right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and we wish him well. Wish him a speedy recovery.
He's gonna be cool, man.
He's coming back.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe next semester Boots will be healthy and we'll bring you guys back.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Strategies for Living, the TV version. Don't forget the radio version, News Radio 710 Keel, Sunday morning 9:05 to 10. Don't forget Saturday morning in the Shreveport Times, the Strategies for Living column in the Life section. And until next time, for Rex Allison, I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. See you next time here on Strategies for Living.